Simon's been with Pascon almost since day one, almost. And something that was impressive with yourself when you first started was you worked for free.
Yeah.
Slave labor.
For me, I did it because I'm like, I don't have any other opportunity. That's how I thought I saw it. I was like any other person off the street. I remember day one of this searching up on the computer, is a slab the same as the foundation?
I've thrown you more often than not. I've tried to throw you in the deep end on certain things.
When I say I knew nothing, I knew nothing.
You know, before long, you ended up picking it up pretty quickly and then getting a really good understanding of the project.
I also think you need to have the correct measures in place to make sure that people aren't doing nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
If you do it and you just hope to God that they're going to work, well, then you're probably going to find out some people are not going to work.
I'll always look back and say, okay, where was I this time last year? Have I improved? Have I made more money? Have I increased my skills?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of $1 Million Days. We are joined by a very special person, by someone who's probably the biggest mover and shaker in the construction space.
I've been here for a while, George. It's not my first episode.
Oh, sorry. Second biggest mover and shaker in the construction space. And that is the general manager of possibly one of the best construction companies in Australia. Simon Tavakis, general manager of Pascon. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Took a while, but we got there.
It did take a long time, actually. How many episodes? 120 odd episodes?
120. This is episode 120.
There you go.
We were counting this from day one. We're like,
Took 120 episodes to get me here. Took 2 years to get me to GM.
yeah.
Since the idea was floated.
Yeah, but so we, when we first launched this podcast, we were like, okay, cool. Episode 1000, Gary V. Episode 120, Simon.
Yeah. It was the first agenda.
Yeah. Ticked off those two boxes. And
I actually thought I would have been on a bit earlier.
Look, I made some requests that were denied. I won't say who may or may not have denied them.
They were subject to skin fades, which I still haven't got.
Me too. So we're in the same boat there. But no, it's good to have you on, man. I think, I think we're trying to work out how we're going to get you to listen. And we figured this is going to be the best way.
Yeah.
Listen to what?
This is probably
The podcast.
one and only episode. Do you know how much we bagged you across the 119 episodes?
Yeah, why haven't you stipulated?
It's just like
I'm pretty sure you could have won free tickets to Greece. There are so many things you could have won. Because like, Simon, if you're listening,
if you say this to me by Monday, we're
get a free ticket.
You get a free ticket to Greece.
You will give you this,
and
you're
never
like,
happened. Not once.
Not
once.
Fuck, I better start listening.
Yeah. But welcome.
Thanks. Okay, so Simon's been with Pascon almost since day one. Almost. And something that was impressive with yourself when you first started was you worked for free.
Yeah.
Slave labor. You just said, hey, George, I want to work for free. And I'm like, absolutely. Don't want to pay you a thing. But you started your internship here, which was good because that was part of your studies, wasn't it?
Yeah.
As in you needed the work experience.
I guess it's the story of Simon. Pretty much I finished school and got into construction management at the time and went to RMIT. Now,
Doing what? In
construction management.
Yeah.
Now, people who know me know that I love being around my friends. I'm all about the vibe. You probably know that.
It's true.
You should see the vibe at Pascon.
Yeah.
That's the only
I'm all about environment and vibe and people and friends. I didn't
Sounds like you shouldn't be the GM. Sounds like you'd be the HR manager.
Oh fuck! It'd be a lot more fun.
Yeah.
How do I get a job there?
But yeah. Anyway, I went to RMIT and I just didn't like the environment. The only reason I stayed there that first year was because I actually worked there. I just love working for cousins. So I worked with our cousin Con, and after that year, I was like, okay, I only worked that first year. The second year, I was like, oh no, this isn't for me. I can't be here. Went to Deakin, but it was just a standard sort of management and project management degree. And then, I lost that opportunity to get an internship because that was part of, I think you did it with Multiplex, didn't you?
No, I did. I went straight into a grad program at Maldi's.
Okay.
So at the course back then, we didn't.
It's probably changed. Yeah. But anyway, part of the fourth year at RMIT now is you go and work at one of these, you can get an internship at one of these big
Which
firms.
I think is a fantastic idea as a student. So we do often get students listening. I think it's a great idea and that's probably a mistake I made early on in my career, was I didn't go out and get a job. like in my 3rd or 4th year in a construction company, because honestly, you learn so much more. So much more. Like, ask me what I fucking remember from uni. Absolutely nothing.
It's got to be something. There's got to be something.
I'll tell you, I remember the parties. I remember going out on the Tuesday night and doing Toss the Boss. And have you ever heard of that?
Toss the
Toss the Boss, yeah. Go to Cheers in Hawthorne. They had this thing called Toss the Boss where you go to the bar, order your drinks, they flip a coin, and you call heads or tails. If you win, you get the drinks for free. If you lose, you just pay for your drinks. It was very cheap uni night, especially when you became friends with the people behind the bar. Yeah, I know. They wouldn't do that now. Look, the drinks were probably watered down.
Probably.
Anyway, side note, please continue.
Yeah, so I remember back then you were at Estia when I first contacted you.
The first iteration of what we were doing.
So I don't even know if you'd started Pascon at that point.
No, well, I mean, I was out on my own. So this is very early days. So Pascon was a different company when we first started. We did start off as a development company doing just our own developments, and it was called Estia Developments back then. And a couple years in, that's when we sort of changed it up and went to a different model altogether.
Yeah, so I called you when it was then. By the time we got around to this internship, that was into 2016, I think. And then 2017 is when I called you again, and I'm like, hey, I need to do this for uni, because it was actually the course that I moved at Deakin, they required you to do a work-based, like a field-based study. Yeah, like a placement essentially. And that's when you had basically started ramping up Pascon. I think you'd started Rosanna, and you were doing St Kilda East or West, St Kilda West. And yeah, I think it was April 2017 that I started the internship with you at BuildCept. And then it was later on that year that I was working for free, as you say. But I wasn't really working for free. It was kind of
it's a trade-off. An intern. We've been talking about this recently about getting some more interns in the office here now. It's not a free. It actually costs me money. When someone says to me, I'm going to come work for you for free, I'm like, dude, I'd rather pay someone that's good. Yeah. As opposed, because the time that's going to take me to invest in you now to train you is far more valuable to me than you working for, $30 an hour, whatever the fuck it's going to be. So, there is the trade-off is you're coming to work somewhere to get the experience so you can then get your foot in the door either at that company or somewhere else.
Yeah, but I think, look, the good thing about an internship is because it is, let's just assume it's not paid, right? If you've got someone who's willing to work for free just so that they can learn, I think that's very rare in this current generation. I feel like it was more, when I did it, I didn't think it was, I'm better than that person or this person because I'm willing to work for free or I'm willing to do this for free. I want to show him. Yeah. It was like, I want to show George that I'm willing to be here. I'm willing to learn, and I want to know, for me, I did it because I'm like, I don't have any other opportunity. That's how I saw it. There
was nothing else on the tables as well. And for clarity's sake, for those of you that don't know, myself and Simon are cousins as well. So there was that.
Yeah, so there was that connection, but at the same time, we were cousins. But to me, you weren't any more of a cousin than Robbie's my workmate. You know what I mean? Like,
because we weren't as connected back then.
I think I could probably count on two hands how many times I'd seen you in 17 years, or no, 20 whatever years of my life at that time. Yeah.
And now I speak to you more than anyone else.
So when we had that sit down and I was like, hey, I'm willing to do this, I'm willing to do that. It wasn't he's my cousin, he'll let me do it. It was like, you didn't know me, I didn't know you at that time. It was like I was like any other person off the street. Yeah. So yeah, it was a good opportunity. I remember going to do safety walkthroughs at Rosanna, and I'd always call up Steve or Nick, because Nick was an apprentice then, asking if anyone wanted coffees. And I remember on my $300 a week Maya wage, I was really hoping there'd be no more than two. But yeah, no, it was a fun time. And then we went on from there, and then I became part-time initially, and then full-time in September 2018.
Yeah, because then we had won a significant project, and then it was like, cool, we ripped the Band-Aid off as a company and said, cool, we're going to just put someone on full-time and then sort of hit the ground running from there. So yeah, it was definitely good times. Good.
So yeah, it's been a journey. It's weird because it doesn't feel like it's been it doesn't feel like it's been 9 years that I've been affiliated
Yeah.
with you in a sense, like Pascon, because
Gone very
it's
quick.
gone. Yeah,
How long has it been? 9 years?
Well, it'll be 9 years since I did my internship with George. Next April, like not this year.
Yeah.
So it's been 8 years.
Are you licking your lips?
For what?
That long service?
No, I've already scheduled the firing him on the right day. So
Yeah.
we're backdating.
Yeah,
So
fire him
Christmas is
at
out. And then
9
rehire
years.
the next day.
9 years and 360.
Pretty sure it's 7 years that you're eligible for long service.
No, we
10.
you should
7, you get a percentage.
George,
you need to read the contract.
George hasn't read the contract that you should.
You need to
Yeah.
you need to read the contract. I know it inside out.
What is it?
I'm just saying
It's 10 years, but
there's
you
nothing.
qualify for a certain amount at 7, but you can't use it until 10.
Oh.
But if you leave between 7 and 10, you get paid out a percentage.
No.
Oh.
That's the law. It's the law. It's not.
George has probably
I
made
don't make this shit
George
up.
has probably made it 20.
I'll
Hey?
break the law.
George, you think George has been paying you super?
Yeah, sporadically every 3 years I get an influx of payments.
yeah. Once they've nah, but yeah. What's been the biggest highlight working at Pascon?
It's interesting because for me,
It's not a good start.
no.
It's just
yeah,
it's like Egan,
like yeah, it was lunch.
let me nice chat.
Look, there's been a lot of challenges and a lot of I wouldn't say highlight. I would say the best thing I've gotten out of it, and which is something that you don't even realize, is how much you learn from day to day. So for me, the biggest highlight would be realizing how much I've sort of come to learn about the industry and the craft of construction without having to ever pick up a hammer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
there's the whole, and we said this the other day. It's who you become as a person of being in these situations as well. It's not just I'm going to learn how to be really good at constructing things or managing things. You actually become, your character develops during that time as well, and going through challenging scenarios or difficult people or good times, it builds a lot of character.
Yeah. And I think I remember day one, I have a vivid memory of this, searching up on the computer at BuildCept, is a slab the same as a foundation? Like I was asking, like, what is a board pier?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know any of I didn't know anything. When I say I knew nothing. So to now have these discussions with not only trades, but having it with engineers and giving them sort of suggestions of what if you do this, how about we do it like this? It's like that's something that I wouldn't have even thought was. I was scared of those
people. It's funny
people.
how you say that. Like I've thought that myself as well. It's like I see things now, and people will come to me for advice. How should I do that?
Yeah,
and it's like I'm not a carpenter. I'm not a plumber. I'm not an electrician. I'm not a structural engineer. Yet I'm the one telling them how to do everything. I understand the principles. I'm like, why don't you do this? Well, why don't you do that? Why don't you change this?
Yeah,
and you end up workshopping things and thinking about it logically, and as a result, you end up running the show, which is what a builder is effectively doing. They're managing the building process. They're not physically putting nails into timber. Yeah.
So, look, it's stuff like that. It's been good, and it's been interesting to just constantly every year. And that's what I kind of do. I kind of measure my years by so at the end of December or around December time, I'll always look back and say, okay, where was I this time last year? Like, have I improved? Have I made more money? Have I increased my skills? Can I do more than I was doing a year ago? And if the answer is yes, I kind of know I had a good year, right? If the answer is no, or if the answer is I haven't really changed, like I'm doing the same stuff I was doing a year ago, just a year later, it's like, well, what have I done this year? Like, what do I have to change next year? And I think that's the biggest thing for me, and that's what's helped me since COVID. Because I think when we had COVID, you fall into this kind of comfortable state of, I'm just kind of sitting here now until this is all over. I wasn't really thinking, I don't know, maybe I wasn't old enough, or maybe I was just lazy, or maybe time went past too quick, and before you think, should I have done something in that period that I didn't think about doing? Like, if they say that the richest people get make the most money when the world is in the shit, you know, like GFCs and all that stuff. So yeah, that's probably if I'm looking back and regrets, it's probably like, okay, could I have done more in those years?
What would you have done that you'd do?
I don't know.
That's
the thing. I don't know. Well, could I don't know.
Well,
could I have studied more and done, I don't know, maybe found that how use that opportunity where everything was really slow to, I don't know, look at maybe I have my Buddhist license by now, who knows. But I think the second year of COVID was different because from when we had Calvin and he left in March 2021.
How do you remember that shit, man?
I
Seriously.
know everything.
Shout out to Calvin.
KB. I was
Big dog.
I was on site basically from March till the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because then we went from March, did Bruce Street and Alma Street, and then moved on to Merrendale, and then was there till mid.
This is where
so it was kind of really one year.
This is where I think you actually got your most significant growth at
Yeah.
the company was when I've thrown you more often than not. I've tried to throw you in the deep end on certain things and let you either figure it out, like a sink or swim scenario. And that was a perfect example. We had one of our supervisors at the time had resigned, which was fine. I said, cool, I'm not going to put on another supervisor, especially during COVID now. I'm going to throw Simon there. And you went on the projects and it took you a couple months to get your head around it. I think you were a bit apprehensive about going on site as well because you hadn't done that before. You were more office-based and you're like, fuck, well, I don't know this, I don't know that.
Yeah.
And, you know, before long, you ended up picking it up pretty quickly and then getting a really good understanding of the project and then able to take it with, you know, what is it? Grab the bull with both horns, by both horns and actually control the site and got it finished and got it done, which was really great. So I mean, that was kind of before we got into that, I was going to lead into what do you think was your most challenging time here? But I mean, you kind of insinuated that too with the COVID period. But do you look at it back and go, fuck, that was hard?
Not Bruce Street. Not that period. I reckon the most. I've probably had. I've probably had periods.
Hey, talk English because that just sounded like he asked you a question. You answered a different question. What's Bruce Street?
Sorry, not that.
I'm like, why? He asked me about COVID. This guy's like, nah, Bruce Street.
Not the Bruce Street project during COVID.
Okay, there we go.
I would say
there's a bit of context.
Challenging moment.
I was confused too. Everyone.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably say the most challenging moment was probably the end of 21, mid 22, from a work perspective, purely because I didn't really know. I wouldn't say I was at a crossroads, but I was at a bit of a crossroads of kind of not knowing what I was doing and whether this was for me and whether I enjoyed this, and kind of that was where I was probably the most challenging part, kind of not knowing what was next for me. But I feel like, and it was probably from that moment that I started measuring my years. Like I was saying before. So I think you're good at identifying with me. You don't say much, but I don't know if you do it on purpose or whether you...
Everything I do is on purpose.
I don't know whether you do it on purpose or whether you just kind of, you just know me too well to know, he's right.
It doesn't mean it.
He doesn't know who Jeffrey Epstein is. So.
We'll get to that later.
Is that a tennis player?
But... there will probably, I don't know, you were saying earlier this or late last year, you know, I'm surprised you didn't quit at the end of 2024. But
no, I wasn't surprised. It wasn't that I was surprised.
You were expecting me.
I wouldn't have. It was.
You wouldn't have been surprised if I did.
Yeah, like it was I saw it as a possibility, which we will get into that too. But yeah.
Yeah. Now, yeah. So for me, it was like, it was just. I feel like you know when I'm not feeling right or how I'm feeling, and you kind of you know whether I'm just over exaggerating or whether I'm actually genuinely.
Yeah, for sure. I think I've learned that just seeing how you operate and what you do. Like for example, I remember when you did go onto site on one of the projects, I saw that you started to pick up a habit of being, and you still are like this now, to a degree, but you're a hothead at times. And you're a lot of the time your first reaction will be to things of, say someone does something wrong, you'll go like, what the fuck are you doing? Are you an idiot? Maybe not as direct, but you'll be like, I don't give a shit. Get here, get it done. Stop making excuses. Now, there are times when you need to be like that. I've got no doubt whatsoever.
Yeah.
And there's also times when you'll get people offside speaking like that too, and you won't always get the best result. And then I'll speak to them and I say, oi, you're doing this, this, and this. And then they go, yeah, okay. Now, there is a little bit of talking to the head of the horse when it comes to stuff like that too, which annoys me in itself. As in, if you tell someone to do something, they don't do it, and then I tell them to do something and they do, I'm like, well, what the fuck was the difference between the words that came out of my face and his face? You know, like, get the thing done. Stop being a dickhead.
No, I think more recently, I don't really see a difference whether it comes from my mouth or your mouth. I think early days
that's
it
what
did,
we're trying. That's the whole intention.
Yeah,
you know? That's
those
the whole
early
intention
days it
of
did,
doing
where
that.
like,
Of course, because you were younger, so
Oh,
people
yeah.
were definitely pushing back because they want to do things on their terms, not ours.
yeah, and there was probably an aspect of who's this young kid trying to tell me how to suck eggs.
Yeah, exactly. You'll get that for sure.
Yeah, but that I think has changed recently, or in the last couple of years. But also, yeah, you're right. I have to control my emotions at times.
Look, my old man's very similar to that too, where he'll talk to someone in such a way, but it's not because you're just trying to be an asshole or you're a hard ass or anything like that. It's about getting the best result for that situation right there and then. And look, some people, they need that firmness. It's not even that, it's conviction. It's like when someone says to you, oh, I can't get there for 3 weeks. Like, hang on, mate. No, we've given you all the details. We've given you everything. You're letting us down now just because you're not organized. No, you're going to make this happen. And then it's that implied pressure that then ends up getting them to where they need to be.
So can you get the same result without doing that though?
Yeah, I think you could, but I think there's a time to be firm as well, because you can be a pushover in this industry as well. And I've seen that too. I've seen supervisors that are just far too nice. As in, oh, please, can you get there? Like, nah, man, I can't get there. Oh, okay, when can you get there? It's like you've got to at least ask the question. You've got to push the narrative and go, I want you here on site here. And it's like, yep, I'll be there. We've confirmed it. And then the day comes and they're like, oh, I can't get there till Friday. I said, no, I've booked trades following you. I've booked inspections following you. I've booked everything following you. We've done we've gotten ready for you. I pushed other trades to be done and finished so you can then start. And now you're coming to the party saying you're going to be 2 weeks late or a week late or whatever it is. Too bad. Like, make it work. Whereas a lot of people might go, oh, okay, I guess I can just sit here for a week and do nothing whilst you come in. So I think there still has to be that level of authority where you need to tell people how it is.
It is easy to fall into a habit of, oh, no one really cares how quickly I am on this, how long I'm taking on this job.
Yeah.
So the Brighton apartment job that we did, that I managed the second part of last year, after Mike came into the office, that was the first time I was really put on deadlines, and that was because Simon.
It was very commercial. It was a very commercial project as far as
it was
how it was run.
Yeah, but
so you had a client that was very commercial focused. Yeah. When I say commercial focused, like program dates, this.
Yeah, but
handover.
As much as that, look, and I was probably the most stressed I'd ever been in my life for those first sort of 4 months. But looking back, I also was amazed at how much work we got done in such a small period of time. Like, I remember, I think we started plastering in like February, and then it got to like mid-March and we're putting joinery in.
Yeah.
And then I actually looked back and I go, what we had done 6 weeks ago felt like it was 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Like, it just felt like it was so long ago.
But you look at the urgency.
Doing so much in that time. And that was probably when I got when I started getting, like you said, more of a commercial mindset of, okay, this leads into that. There's no breaks.
Yeah.
Like, why are we
there
waiting?
can't be breaks.
Like,
exactly.
Just
Right.
go
And that's
next.
something I think that we just had the conversation today about program. I said there can't be breaks.
Yeah.
We can't have days on end where you're like, oh, okay, so the plumber's coming on Thursday. He'll finish on Friday, and then the next trade's going to start Thursday week, and you've got 4 days where you've done nothing on site. Like, you can't have that because
days go by quick.
But it's also
lose
just
days quick.
it's money wasted.
Yeah.
It's not the way to be operating a job. They need to be a well-oiled machine. Now, you saw the urgency just from yourself coming in and taking over comparatively to what it was like the months prior as well. And that is a change in focus, mindset, personnel on site as well. You mentioned it a little while ago. So you know dates better than I do. But let's just say it was a couple of years ago.
The other day.
The other day. Always the other day.
Yeah, always the other day.
It was the other day. So I had appointed Mike as a general manager of the business at the time. And like, because it was always between yourself and him. And there was 2 ways I had to decide which way to go. And at the time, I don't regret the decision, mind you. I think it was the right decision at the time. I was looking at experience, knowledge, positioning, how everything was operating, and I thought the right decision was made at the time. Even though you could have probably competently taken it over at that time, I reckon even that next couple of years or that year and a half that you weren't in that role, you still developed further to make you better and where you are now. So I think we have spoken about this, but how did you feel when you didn't get the GM role? Fuck this guy, never come back to work.
I was more shitty you gave the Ranger to Mike, to be honest. Nah, for me, it was more, I felt like it was I didn't feel like I got promoted, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, so at the time you did move into so it went from project manager to construction manager. Yeah.
For me, it was more like a glorified site manager role, right, at the time. So I felt a bit like, I've just kind of been moved sideways to make way, and being given a new title so that I don't feel bad or something like that. So yeah, I felt a bit disheartened, but deep, and I think because I knew there were specific things that Mike is a great guy. Shout out to Mike, good bloke. There were specific things at the time that I knew being here for, at the time, it was like 6 years or whatever it was. I knew things that Mike didn't know from just a standard, typical processes plate. Like when it comes to things like GOps, which is our accounting software, stuff like that. And it was like, okay.
No, but there's also the added advantage of, the whole way Pascon operates is very commercial-like, as in esque as far as systems, processes, everything that I've learned in the commercial space, I've implemented here.
Yeah.
So you still did have an advantage in that sense of the word, because Mike had come from more of a residential builder background, and he had some commercial background as well, but primarily operating his own business as a residential builder.
Yeah, look, I did feel disheartened, but I think given my what was happening with my personal life at the time, being my partner, I was like, okay, I'm going to stick it out and just see how it goes. So I sort of thought I was going to give it about 6 to 8 months and see how it panned out. Now, I remember coming back at the start of last year, because that's when everything changed. And it was probably the first time. I actually remember the year before that coming back, I was really excited and really motivated to get into it. Whereas I came back last year and I was like, I don't want to be here. It was probably the first and only time I've ever kind of had that feeling being here.
Yeah, well, the first 6 months of last year was very difficult.
Yeah, and I think it was that as well. It was kind of like knowing how they were going to pan out, knowing the pressure I was going to be put under, and knowing that I was kind of thrown into the deep end. Again, but I kind of felt like it was more of a, I'm trying to do something over here. You just deal with this. That's how I felt. Like I think you knew I could deal with it. And I
actually had no doubt. I knew you would do it purely from a perspective is that job needed what we just said. It needed some mongrel. Like it needed someone to really push the project. And it wasn't getting that prior. It was too blasé. This person's here on this day. And then you get on site. And I remember even you calling me up one day and go, this isn't fucking done. This isn't organized. This is missed. Like, how the fuck are we plastering right now?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, man, sort it out. That's what you're there to do. Like, make it happen.
Yeah. So, I know. So for the first month, I was kind of like really like bad attitude on myself, whether you saw that or not. So, but I was kind of keeping it to myself. But then I remember one morning I was kind of walking to the car for another day of fun. And I was like, nah, I remember saying to myself, no, I'm gonna fucking show George that I'm his best employee. I actually said those words out loud, and I go, we're gonna fucking smash this job, and I'm gonna show him that there's no one better than me.
Yep.
And whether that meant finishing the job and saying, here mate, here are the keys, thanks, see you later, I'm moving on, or whether that meant you're gonna make me your GM now or whatever, I didn't know. But I knew that by the time because at that point I was going away in the middle of the year, and I made it my goal to finish that job before I left, and to kind of say, here, I've done it. Whether you thought I would or wouldn't, I've done it. And yeah, we got to that point. But towards the end, I didn't get that. I didn't have that sort of hostile attitude of, fuck George or anything like that.
It was never about that. It was never about that. It was more, as you said, I think what you just came up with, which shows a lot of resilience and character when it comes to how a business owner would want an employee to be, right? Because it was more of, I'm not going to prove you wrong. I'm going to prove myself right. That's it. And you just having that aspect of yourself and having that standard of yourself led to me having no other option than to promote, than to give the opportunity, because then I could see that and go, well, this is a no-brainer. And that's where it happened very quickly in my mind, as far as when I saw the direction of the company wasn't in the right hands and it needed to be changed. And that's where I called up Mike at the time. I said, listen, had a chat with him. I said, look, this isn't working. I'm going to go in a different direction. And I said, I'm going to promote Simon to this role, because he's shown me that he's capable. He's shown me that the things that he was lacking when I made the initial promotion, he's now got. And if there's a certain element of certain things, it's not really that hard for you now to fix or
I
refine.
think it's really much only the ability to actually. I've never run a company before. I've never run a business, so that's probably
these are some of the skill sets you'll learn. But it's also, there's other things that you can look at now and start to look at, which will happen pretty soon, is stuff like sales, like thinking about branding, thinking about marketing, thinking about negotiations with not just subbies, but now clients.
Yeah.
Putting you in the front foot and letting you run that show.
And that's probably one thing I'm probably weary of this year, is not to just be another, again, sideways step or glorified position and just a title where I actually have an effect and do something that is representative of my role, whether that be sort of taking not the strain, but doing the things that you do when it comes to tendering or estimating, or having having that final meeting with a potential client that closes the deal. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that, which I've never done. I've always been in the background, kind of doing the PMing, doing the contract work, doing the management work. From an on-site perspective, but never actually been at the forefront of being like the face, I guess.
And as I said, that'll change. Yeah. You'll get those opportunities to move forward. And again, it forces me to level up too, because the very easy thing for me to do is to be the player again, to go there and, it's all right, I'll negotiate this one. I'll do the video for the marketing. I'm the face of the company, and starting to step back and go, no, I need to hand pass this over and let you run that race and do that. Because otherwise, we said it the other day, what gives you the freedom from being your business? It's if you're an operator of any sort in your business, then you still got a job.
Yeah, trying to make yourself redundant.
Yeah.
So what's the first change you can implement at Pascon 2026? I reckon longer lunch breaks. What do you? Or extra, work from home.
Glenda's Catering on Friday.
Hey, don't fuck around.
Glenda's Catering.
Working from home.
Don't fuck around.
I reckon that's a good one. It's 2026.
Who's there to work from home? Me.
Yeah.
And George. George basically works from home. His house is 100. His house has never been more than 100 meters away from the office anyway. He's like a big study. This office. No, I don't know. I think I'm kind of looking at other. Okay, so Pascon's just celebrated its 10 years last year, and for me, the only thing I've kind of looked at is, right, why are we not bigger? Why are there not 50 people working here, and why aren't we not turning over $40 million a year? That's probably the one question that I've had, and is that because, there's been challenges, there's been a lot of things that have happened over the period that has prevented stuff like that, whether that be just to, being comfortable or, whatever. But for me, it's like, I'm not saying I'm going to be the reason why, but can I be a part of the reason why or how we take that next step to become a big player, not just
You've done the first step, which is you've asked the question.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you need to find the answer. That's what it comes down to. It's like, well, why? Okay, well, why aren't we here? Why aren't we there? Why isn't this at this level? What is it that's missing? And then you start to find the answers, put the clues together, make the calls. And it can be as simple as, a bit of dumb luck. You might be out somewhere on a weekend bump into someone and start talking and go, oh, blah, 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 I've been looking for this. I've got this issue with this build and I'm trying to find this development site. And you go, oh, hang on, we can help you out with that. Or we can do this, we can do this. And then you can look at that missing piece. Or you might speak to another person in the industry saying, oh, we're doing this. We've just stepped into this space. We're using this material. And you go, okay, well, maybe that's what we need to do. And then you can start increasing profits, whatever it might be, a whole range of things. And I think it just starts with the question.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think when you're in the construction industry and you're on site and you're working through a project, it's very easy for time to get away from you. Like before you know it, it's the end of the year again. Like we're in February now. And I guarantee you, before you know it, we'll be organising.
First quarter will be out.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, what are we doing now?
Yeah. And that's...
Did you have a long January or a short January?
What does that mean?
Like some people felt like January went forever. And some people felt like it flew by.
No, I reckon it went quick.
You reckon it went quick?
Yeah, I reckon it went pretty quick. I've also had a very busy January from a personal level as well. With my my partner moving from Canada. Shout out, Kristen. So we've just
long time listener.
Long time fan of the show. She's been asking for a shout out for ages. Yeah, so just
make sure you cut that out of the video, guys.
Tell you what, if Kristen, she will watch this one. If she listens to the next episode and tells us the timestamp when we call her out, we'll get her a box of
Then George will let us go to Canada whenever you want.
Ferrero case.
So yeah, it's just been busy from a personal level. So yeah, I think January went pretty quick. So yeah, it's amazing that it's already February, and I'm sure February will fly quick as well. And before you know it, will be cold, and it'll be April or May. You know what I mean? And I think, yeah, with years, you're kind of always looking to the next milestone of the year, whether that be the next long weekend or the next wedding that you've got, and you're kind of working towards something. Or a holiday or whatever it is. So, and then before you know it, these things pass and you're like, all right, well, now I'm working towards the end of the year. And then, I don't know, you're kind of trying to, some people would like have a lot to do. Others are just kind of looking to close it out depending on the year they've had, whether that be stressful, whether that be eventful or not. And yeah. So
working from home, huh?
No, I wish.
So no changes, no immediate changes at Pascon.
Changes that I'm going to implement.
Yeah, with your new role. Nothing.
More pub days.
0. More pub days.
No.
You could have one and it'd be one more than last year.
One more than the last 8 years.
Okay. What would you say to someone who's listening who might not have been, awarded a position like that just yet, and they might be working in a role and they're not sure about, they felt like you did at the end of 2024, you said?
Mm.
What would you say to that person? Like, what would you, or if you could talk to yourself back then, what would be the message that you would share with yourself? Like, would you say, stick in there? Would you say?
I'd probably ask yourself why.
Why what?
Like, why were you not chosen, first of all? And then second of all, can you prove to them that they were wrong? Like, can you prove to whoever didn't give you the role that you were going for that you were the right person? So there's two ways to go about it. You either choose to move yourself on and say, well, if I'm not going to be put in that position, then I'm going to look elsewhere where I think I can. Like, but if you think you're ready for it, go somewhere else. But if you're, I guess, in my position where you're really tied to the company and had a relationship with it that you weren't quite ready to let go of, then you're like, all right, well, I would say stick it through and prove to that person that you are the right person. And then maybe give yourself a timeline and say, okay, I'm going to give myself 6 months or a year. And if I haven't gotten where I want to get to by then reassess.
And there's another side to that coin as well, is the position that this person could be in. You might not see a future there.
Mm.
And that's a very probable thing to come up with, as far as you don't get the position, you're never going to get the position.
Mm.
Or there isn't room for further growth from this point on. So then you need to make that decision of going, well, am I going to stay in the comfort zone and just continue along this path, doing what I'm doing, and still enjoying the process, whatever it might be. But it's got to get to a point where you're going to turn around and say, well, I need to explore other opportunities. Now, that could be at another company, another industry, whatever it is. The conversation would then come up in that instance too.
Yeah, you've got to be wary of the ceiling, and if
it's the
ceiling, or if there's still room to grow.
There's a whole range of things that come into play. It could be the work, the environment that you're working in.
Yeah,
some people might love the fact that they can work from home on Mondays and Fridays, and I hear there's some fucking far out companies that do shit like that.
Wild.
Work from home, like doing that on a Monday and Friday. Or you go, no, fuck it. I'm going to go and work at this other company. I'm going to work every day, but I'm going to get paid this much more, or I'm going to get these bonuses, whatever it is, or I'm going to get that role or that position.
What would it take?
Whatever it is to work from home.
Yeah, what would it take? Let's just open up the conversation just a little bit.
We just started.
Why is this such a sensitive topic? Is it a real?
George seems very. It's like someone said work from home once and he was upset.
I got upset the whole time.
Scarred by COVID.
The whole time. Yeah.
Because I'd be answering the phone and I'd be like mid team deathmatch.
Yeah, well,
It'd be like,
it just means you're gonna come back amped up.
I'd be like, hey,
work hard.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, make it quick. I've only got 30 seconds of pause here.
Yeah, you can't pause in team deathmatch. But there's nothing wrong with that. If he wants to spend his lunch break on COD, he's gonna be happier for it.
No, look, I think there's I've done. There have been times where I've worked from home. Obviously, I'm not. There's not going to be, but it's not like we're just not a company that you're.
I've heard about it.
Look,
I don't mind. I know for yourself, it doesn't actually bother me. I don't.
I think there's a concern.
I think there's certain people.
I think there's a concern when there's a demand for it.
Yeah, but that's also even myself, right? I know that when I'm home, I'm less productive. Like you said, I live 150 meters away, 200 meters away from home. I could easily have a home office, work from there. I will be more productive here. That's me personally.
But I'll tell you the reason for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, people in your house.
I have things in my house. I have food. I have fucking
a
dog.
There's things here.
But I have a dog. I have a PlayStation. I better mow the lawn. I got to fucking hang out the clothes. I get a call from the missus. Hey, can you...
Being able to do the washing while you're working is the greatest thing in the world.
Can you do... Hey.
Look, there are some great benefits.
There's some fucking great benefits.
It's like not stuck in traffic.
That's what I have a wife for.
Hey?
I said that's what I have a wife for.
Not stuck in traffic on the way home.
The only reason.
Lose an hour there, go to the gym earlier,
you dishwasher
make dinner earlier.
But this is what I'm saying. I think it's human nature to take the path of least resistance in most of these instances. And I don't think everyone is built to work from home. I think some people can. I don't think everyone is. And I don't, it's the unknown. I don't know if the productivity is as great there or if it is good here.
And the times that I have worked from home, whether that be remotely on laptop, whatever, I've actually found there have been times where I've done more work than I've done here. The only reason being is
because you work later?
No, is because I feel like, shit, I don't want George to think I'm doing nothing.
Oh, so but I don't think
I do
that.
a lot.
I don't think that.
No, I know. I'm not saying you do.
I think that.
Simon, I mean,
I'm not saying you do,
like,
but it's like a subconscious thing. It's like, fuck, George's probably thinking I'm doing fuck all because I'm working from home, but I'm going to show him that I'm not. So I'll do this. I'll send these emails. I'll write this scope and send it off. I'll do these invoice. Probably the only thing I can't do at home is invoicing.
Yeah, schedule an email for 7:30. I just feel like, cool, send this Daniel thing, I'm working.
Yeah.
But I would, invoicing is probably the only thing that I can't do from home because it involves stack and a stamp and you got to sign it and whatever. You can do it. You can bring it home, do it, and then bring it back to the office, but it's not something you can just constantly do. But I think there are times where I'm more productive being from home when I'm traveling around during the day. So if I have to go to site in the morning in Glen Waverley, like yesterday, for example, I went to site in the morning in Glen Waverley. Then a meeting that I was meant to have got changed to 3:00. And then I was at Glen Waverley till 11. I wasn't then going to drive to Albert Park to work for 2 hours and then drive back to a 3 p.m. meeting in Glen Waverley. Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
You'd lose too much time on the road.
Yeah. And yeah. So there were instances.
No, absolutely. There's no doubt. There's no doubt, especially in that when you're on that, when you're on across multiple projects on a day or whatever it might be. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Even if you go to a cafe and you pull out your laptop, it's the same sort of thing.
But why are you so anti work from home? Apart from, so you think that you're more productive in the office?
Yeah, and it's also if I want, I like having people here. It's like I had a PA once. You met that first PA I had?
Jade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was trying not to use names, but thanks. Do you want to give a tax file number
Shout
as well? Shout out. You give me a lot of
Passport
shout-outs.
number and everything.
Yeah, she came in and I was very clear with the role and what I expected and not working from, like I wanted someone there when I needed them there. And then she came in one day saying, oh, I want to work from home. I want laptops. I want this. I want blah, 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 blah. And then that Saturday morning, then literally the next morning I called her up and fired her. But that was my expectation. Like I want someone here when I want them here. I want them to do things. I want here, process that, do that, call that, do that, and so on and so forth. It can be done at home, as you said. I don't know if it's as efficient, and I still am stuck in my ways. I think people will still work better from here.
I think
as a rule of thumb, I know that's generalizing.
I know.
I'm sure there are people that can do stuff outside of that. Like put it this way, Nick, a supervisor could never work from home.
No, obviously.
So a bricklayer is never going to work from home.
No.
You know,
So what?
huh?
So what?
Well, I'm just saying, like, okay, so now let's just say from a cultural point of view, he's like, oh, fuck this Simon guy gets to work from home every day and I have to be on site. It's freezing. It's hot.
well,
It's
Well,
this.
it's his job
but
role.
you should
Yeah.
have been a bricklayer.
That's his
Yeah,
job role.
I get that.
Yeah.
No, but
Like, yeah. I also think,
that's like saying so they don't get to use computers, so you shouldn't use computers.
yeah, generations have changed as well. You're thinking,
I'm sure there is
when
that
you were
aspect
growing
of it.
up,
I'm sure there
that
is
wasn't even a
aspect of it.
thing. Like
Yeah,
now,
like they use a hammer, so we shouldn't use pens. We should use hammers too and fucking chisel on the bricks. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't think like that.
yeah. No, yeah.
Fight me.
No. If I win, Simon get to work from home.
Yeah, there you
He
go.
already does.
To start. Fight him. You better win.
Yeah.
You're
I don't know.
you're
You've been training.
I have.
Yeah.
Thanks for noticing. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
I didn't mean it.
Take it back. Take it back. You fucking homo.
I think you can gauge from someone's personality whether they'd be good working from home or not pretty quickly.
Yeah, there probably is that element too.
Yeah, I also think you need to have the correct measures in place to make sure that people aren't doing nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
If you do it and you just hope to God that they're going to work, well, then you're probably going to find out some people are not going to work.
Yeah.
But if you do it and you have the correct measures in place where if you don't do the work, I'm going to know
Yeah.
because there's work to be done. And if this isn't done by the end of the day, then there's going to be a way for me to notice.
Yeah.
That's different.
Well, you say
It's accountability, right?
you say that you're worried people won't be as productive from home.
Because
We've had
I
was going to say we've had site managers that have been very unproductive on site.
Yeah, of course. And
Very
then that changed.
very
That had to change.
Oh, I could,
You didn't know none the wiser.
Yeah,
Like,
that's right. Well, it came to fruition.
Came to eventually.
Because you see the lack of the work.
But yeah,
You see the lack of progress, or you see people saying things.
Yeah.
All right.
same
and then you
element,
go,
same thing.
Yeah.
What happened the other way
Yeah.
around? Yeah.
yeah, but it's sort of like the site is almost like their home because it is their own sanctuary. There's no one.
That's
there.
why
There's
it's so
no one
important to have
there's
someone
no
that
one
you
controlling them,
trust to
overseeing
do that.
them.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, and we've got that. We've got
Yeah.
the people there that we trust that will do the job.
Yeah.
But whereas I know the scenario you're talking about from even back in COVID, and it's like you certain people stopped working here, and you're like, well, what the fuck did they actually do? And you're like, hang on, what's this? What's this? What's
Yeah.
this? Why is there a fucking hammock there? Do you know what I mean? It's like, so you
Why
just
is there,
chilling
why is
out?
there a
and-
barbecue on site
Yeah,
and
like,
games downloaded on the work laptop?
Exactly. Like, and then it's like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, you bang on with that. But you got to have those processes in place to be able to check it.
Yeah, and I think that was a long time ago, and things have changed since then. But I think going back to my point is you don't. I think there's a bad connotation with working from home. It's just because you're working from home doesn't mean you're unproductive, because you can be unproductive working in the office. I can come here and put my head on the table for 8 hours, and then go home and
Or dawdle and
Yeah.
pretend to be sitting at your desk and
go for a long lunch break, or go for a walk, or just write a few emails, watch YouTube. How are you gonna know? But I'm here, you know. Or I could be at home and doing a lot more, but it seems like I'm doing less because the connotation of he's working from home, he must be doing fuck all, is just kind of there. So
yeah, but you do it too.
What?
If I come in on a Friday, you said, "Oh, you're working today? I thought you guys don't work Fridays." I'm like, "Come on, man,
Come on, man. Come on, man.
cut me some slack."
Yeah,
you're
you're
never,
like, "Come on,
you're never gonna win with that
you're
attitude.
like, can't, bro. I'm not working. I'm just here. I left my pen at home.
Yeah. All right. In saying that, we're live on the air now.
Just now.
Do you want to ask for any annual leave or anything?
Reject it.
George on the spot, any sick leave.
I don't even have
Any
any
holidays you want to have?
Well, look,
planned?
the idea is that you don't need to eventually, just do shit. Just stop talking to me.
What do you
Just
mean?
only talk to me about cool shit, like cars and what you did on the weekend. Like the intent would be one day, say, okay, high level, in 5 years' time, I don't want to be on the org chart. All right, which means you're driving everything. You're hiring, you're firing, you're paying, you're doing all that sort of shit. Because like that, at that stage, it'll be 15 years doing this. Like things have to change. That's what it is.
Yeah.
As far as you saying what's going to get us to 40 mil, it's things have to be done differently. The things that we've been doing for 10 years can't be the things we're going to do for the next 5.
What got you here won't get you there.
Yeah, it's exactly that. And you look at that, man. It's nearly 10 years for you. It is for me. It's more for me. I've been doing this since I was fucking 21. And it's like, well, what have we been doing all this time? I look at even when I was back at BuildCept, very similar structure as far as how the business is operating and what we're doing. And it's like, well, what's changed? Delivering projects, winning projects, delivering projects, arguing with subbies, punching on with clients or winning with clients or whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's that same thing. So what has to be different? What needs to change? Is it now we're going to start looking at the 3D printed homes? As silly as that sounds.
The thing is, I think that's great. All these ideas and all these things that we want to do and want to get, you only get there by putting your time and energy towards it.
But that's what it takes sometimes.
Yeah.
So like it might mean as the person running the ship or whatever it is, when everyone's doing other stuff, you're going, no, I'm going to research this.
Yeah.
Or this Saturday, what are you doing this Saturday? I'm fucking going to go see this. I'm going to go meet the guy from Tesla because Optimus they're bringing the Optimus robots in.
There are elements of that, but I'm talking, say, let's just assume it's during work hours for now, right? If I'm as a GM, and if I'm committing my 7 to 5 doing things that maybe a site manager should be doing, then I can't do the things that a GM should be doing.
That's right.
So does that
You've
mean
got to look at your hourly rate as
so does
your
that
time,
mean
the
that
value of your time is worth. And this is where I'm massive on it. Like, my old man was always huge on this, and he'd be like, he'd call me up and he'd say, which tiles do we need for the job? Like, who's the tile? What tiles do I need to buy? Where do I get the tiles from? And even though I knew the answer, I knew it. It was there, or I knew it off by heart. I knew who the supplier was. I knew who the contact was. I'd say, why are you talking to me? I'd say, call Simon. That's Simon's job. He's the CA. Get him, ask him. And then eventually he'd stop calling me and he would call you. He goes, hey, where are the tiles from? You're like, yep, cool, it's here. I'll book them for Friday.
Yeah.
And that would happen.
Yeah.
So the same thing's going to need to happen with you now. Like even, it happened the other day. Nick called me and he's like, hey, what are we going to do with this? He knows I know the answer. I said, do that. Like I told him in this instance, but it was like, you got to give people the freedom, to be able to make a call on certain things. But it's also a matter of going through the right channels and using your time that is the most efficient. Okay. Now, if that means you have to get the supervisor or a leading hand or someone to do something for you so you can be here in the office or you can be meeting a client or go for that coffee or whatever it is that's going to grow the business, that's where you got to start thinking about the value of your time to the business. Because if you have a target as the GM for Pascon to make $40 million, then you've got to work backwards from that. You've seen me do it. I'm pretty sure you've seen me do the hourly rate at a builder summit, right? So you just got to go, well, I want to make 40 mil. I want to work this many hours a week or this many weeks, this many hours a week. And then you figure out, well, to make 40 mil, my hourly rate is $12,443.15 per hour. So then you look at that going, okay, if that's what an hour of my time is worth, is it worth me processing an invoice right now?
Yeah.
Or should I get Renee or should I teach Renee, hey, this is how you enter subcontractor invoices, whatever it is. So when you can start thinking like that, that will definitely help you in that, in your roles, in that role, and then elaborate and execute.
Yeah. I also think if that's your, going back to what you said, if that's your 5-year plan, I think you should have a rollout period. Do you know what I mean? Like if this is year 1 of the 5-year plan, you're like 5 years, Don't call me.
Yeah.
Year 1 should encapsulate, okay, I need to be doing this, this, and this.
Yeah, and I
Two,
think that's probably something we'll sit down and do in the near future.
Yeah.
You know, whether we go for a dinner or whether we just have a pizza night here and just go, well, not
Have a
pizza,
Glenda day.
because I'm shredding.
Have a Glenda night.
Have a Glenda. Oh, shit, Glenda's.
They changed their lunch special.
Can I come?
Absolutely. You're the marketing guru.
Yeah. Do you want to listen then?
I need someone to have some prawn with me because he can't. The prawn dumpling.
He can.
Might die.
He just doesn't know.
Yeah, and I think, but going back to what I said, it's easy to lose track of time when you're busy about something else, and always saying, and I think I've heard you say this a lot over the years, is let's just get through this. Let's just get through this. And then this never kind of ends. It's always a different this.
Yep, that's what I'm
And
saying. It's the
before
same.
you-
It's win a job, deliver a job, win a job, deliver a job.
Yep.
And it's like you fall into that habit.
You fall into the habit, and then before you know it,
doing
it's
10 years.
2027.
And they're great.
you're
Great
still,
jobs. Like you're making good money. Like you're successful in that process. But it's like, well, what's going to get us to be like Gurner?
Yeah, exactly.
And have the crane.
You've-
And we're no longer building, we're employing builders.
Exactly.
Whatever it might be, if that's the path
Yeah.
you want to go.
'Cause I
down.
guarantee
or
you-
are you the builder with the
I
crane?
guarantee you, Tim Gurner isn't doing takeoffs on tiles and
Yeah, but there's
He's not,
different levels to it.
yeah.
Exactly right. You're bang on. And that's what you have to think of. It's saying, well, what am I doing today that I shouldn't be doing? And what do I need to be doing?
yeah.
Because when you can start thinking about things like that, it just changes everything, man. Like it's why I do what I do. It's why I do the event stuff. It's why I think go and meet. Like I told you on the walk today, I'm going to Adelaide next month for a potential business venture and to expand and become a national company. Now we can do that because we got the systems and the processes there. Now this might be nothing. We actually, going back again, we're talking about this developer that's gotten in touch with us that wants to do $20 million a quarter. And it's like, man, every year I get that person that calls me and says, hey, I want to build $15 million worth of work. I want to do this. Every year someone comes up. It's not once landed. They're like, oh, we want to get you to do this. We want you to do all these projects. We're going to make, me and you are going to make so much money. It's going to be great. Champagne will fall from the ceilings. And it's like, never comes to fruition.
Yeah.
But one day, one of those guys I'm sure is going to land. But if we don't put ourselves in those rooms, if you don't put yourself in that position, it's never going to land.
Yeah.
So you just got to give it a crack and always pushing yourself to try and become more and do more.
Yeah. And it's just getting yourself out there, really. It's just kind of to show them why you over that person. Like, what did someone like Tim Gurner do that set him apart from us? And
He bought a gym.
Huh?
He bought a gym.
Yeah, all right.
True story. Did you know that?
You've said it.
Yeah, he bought a gym when he was 19 years old. He went and bought a gym, and I'm pretty sure he almost went bust. And then he sold the gym, and then he did a whole bunch of stuff. And he had the whole thing financed. Didn't have money. You know he's not that old, yeah? He's like 40.
No, yeah, I know. He's pretty young.
George is older than him. Nah, I think it's the same age. Yeah, it's an inspiring story. Worth looking into. Because they're doing $300 million builds.
Yeah.
What
My mate works for them.
Does he?
Works for St. Haven.
Yeah.
He's their account. He's in their accounts. Don't know what his. Yeah, so I don't know. He's in their
Account
accounts.
manager.
So he's told me about like how much they're sort of turning over and where they're looking to build. They're looking to go international, open up in
Is St. Haven or
St. Haven. So he basically
sick, by the way.
he looks at all the membership tallies, how much the constructions cost, and how much the things are, where they're looking to go next, and what they're looking to be, where they're looking to be in 2 years. Like they have set plans. Like by this time in 5 years, we're gonna have New York, Chicago, and LA. This time in 3 years, we're gonna have Dubai.
Yeah, he's on route to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
That, and I think that's
But
cool. I think that's cool.
yeah.
For someone who didn't get it, like it wasn't handed down to him.
but
He was just hungry.
But there's something inside him that makes him think like that. And what sets that? What does? If he can, why can't anyone else? You know what I mean? Like what sets him apart? So
Success leaves clues.
yeah, and when you've got someone who's got a 5-year plan of, okay, let's not build $10 million homes in Melbourne. I want to build a $20 million gym in Dubai that has a a yearly membership of $200,000 per membership because that's the market. It's like, well, what makes you be that? Why are you that ambitious? Like, what has made you say, okay, I'm going to go that deep? Like, that's deep.
Because he believes he can.
Yeah.
And most people don't believe they can. I instantly had that thought in my head just then. I was like, fuck, how do you do that?
Yeah, it might it might not even be the belief. It might just be this fear involved. It's too much. Like you just said, he financed a whole gym and he went to shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It was
19?
It was like 19, dude.
I was working at Oakley as a waiter at 19.
You're like, this is a tough job.
Yeah, I was fucking carrying tables to the back saying this is the worst thing I've ever done in my life. This guy's financing a gym and going bust. And I'm like, I don't even know what financing was when I was 19. You know?
Credit to him.
Yeah.
That's it.
You probably didn't finish your 12.
So one thing actually that I haven't mentioned to you, but I'm going to mention it to you now, where I think you need to improve on.
This is actually, we're not recording. This is your performance appraisal.
He waited for the cameras to be turned on for him to tell me this.
No, it's not. It's nothing bad.
Anger management.
I actually reckon you need to start developing your own personal brand a bit more.
Yeah, you have mentioned that before. I don't know how to do that.
It's simple. You just
go on podcasts.
Go on podcasts. It's day one of your personal brand right now.
I'll be on Joe Rogan's in a couple of weeks. You watch.
Okay, good. Do it. Yeah, that'll do wonders for your personal brand. The reason I say that is people buy from people. Do you know what I mean? And it's all good and fine to have your personal account where you want to post whatever, photos of your cat, your dog, yourself topless on the beach, whatever it is. It's fine.
I'm talking about Instagram pages like that.
The thing you need to look at is people building a connection with you to go, okay, this is the type of person we will do business with. You look at all the huge companies in the world that have a prominent founder, they often have significantly more followers and engagement through their personal brand than what they do the business brand. And that's human nature because people buy from people. People want to connect with people. Pascon, as much as you might love it or I love it or whatever it is, people don't get as excited about that. They get excited about the actual individual and the person. It's like, when we do events, we often get people coming up to us saying, oh man, I listen to all your podcasts. We love it. I can't believe I'm actually meeting you. It's like, hang on, why is that level of fandom there? It's because we're building a connection with the audience and we've never even met them before. And they trust us as far as the podcast goes and the knowledge and the shit that we're bringing them. But then even from a construction point of view, when I go out and talk about construction, I'm a person of authority. And if you can become that too, I think it'll be great for you from a professional point of view, a connection point of view. Even trades, like you get trades that go, oh man, I get heaps of people, trades, listen to today, the cabinet maker that came through. What did he say today? I think you were in the room. And he goes, oh man, I listen to all your stuff. I watch all your videos. This is a trade. He respects me just for who I am and what I'm doing. And I've never gone out there to create content so he could respect me or he could want to do that. So I think that'll be a powerful thing for you to do over the years. And it can start with even, you can post an article on LinkedIn saying, hey, we've done a couple of projects with like gauge steel. I still prefer timber, but here are the benefits of each. And you start to become that authority. You start to become that person to go to and to do business with.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be something you could work on over the next, next 12 months.
Yeah, No, I think so too. I just don't know how to. I don't really know where to. I don't know. I think one thing that you're good at is you don't care what people think.
Yeah, that's.
I have a sense of what if people bag me for that, or what
you
if
will. You'll get that though. You'll get that.
I care too much about.
You'll get your friends. It starts off with your friends and family. Oh, look at the fucking movie star, hot shot. New GM at Pascon. You'll get that. My family used to always do that. I'd go into a family barbecue of some sort. They were like, they're like, Passos, all I see is your face on fucking social media. I'm like, unfollow me. Okay, you don't buy my shit anyway. I don't do it for you.
Yeah, and now you're an ambassador for Sea-Doo.
Yeah, there you go. Shout out to Sea-Doo. Give me
sponsoring this episode.
I reckon. Yeah,
I got a guy that does videos as well.
I haven't thought about doing that this year. You're just trying to get in business, aren't you?
Yeah.
Sign up.
I don't have any money for it.
We're not even recording.
Send the invoice to Pascon.
Yeah, I think that's important. I think you should also look at, if I may add to what you're saying, personal development.
Yes.
like real personal. It sounds wanky. It sounds shit. It'll change your life.
It will. I can safely say.
Yeah.
Like what? Like Sansoni?
No, like just
No.
no, don't do that.
No, like
no, just
actual, like, dude, and when I say personal development, I don't mean go do a fucking 3-day course. That might be it. You might do a 3-day course and you're like, this is fucking, I learned some things here and it changed my life. But you might also go and read a book and that changed your life. Or you might listen to a particular podcast, or you might make it, like I've made it purposeful this year. Every single morning when I come in, I read 10 pages at least every single morning. Like
it'll take you 15 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't
It
take
doesn't
long
take
at all.
long at all.
And you're like,
I was telling George,
chapter.
I bought a book in December. I haven't opened it. It's just sitting there. It's nothing about personal development. It's just purely
Harry Potter.
It's called The Odyssey. It's by Stephen King,
Yeah, look,
I think.
that's not reading. So
yeah, I
like,
know.
you can read,
But
but
like,
that's cool. But
that's-
like, you know, you might as well.
I don't think I've read a full book for a good 15 years.
Yeah, cool.
Like, it's-
And
I read my
it's
first book when I was
it's
26.
I'd love to read. I would love to keep reading. I'd love to start reading. I just
You
So
you love
you gotta-
PlayStation more.
even that. I played it last night for half an hour. It was great after 4 months.
But yeah, he's bang on. Like I reckon, you used to always say how I would handle myself in stressful situations. You're like, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how.
I still don't know how you do it. I still don't know.
Because
I get stressed and it's not even. It's like it's not my company. It's
Yeah.
not my money, and I feel like sometimes I'm more stressed than you are.
Yeah, there's not a level. It's the stress is always there. It doesn't go away. It actually, you just get better at handling it. And the fact that we've pretty much done everything the same. He's done a little bit more with Tony Robbins and whatnot, but my ability to handle difficult situations and people and things and times in my life is because I've gone through that personal development, professional development, and become better at being a human being and handling things. Because I promise you, had I not, honestly, hand on heart, had I not done half the stuff I've done and continue to do, mind you, had I not done it, I think there would be I think I would have had a breakdown. I genuinely say that hand on heart. I reckon if I didn't have the personal development and training that I had done over the last 5-6 years, I think I would have, I don't think I'd be depressed, although there's probably levels of it where you don't even know you are, but I don't think I would have that level of sitting in a corner and crying and feeling sorry for myself and the world is over. But I think I would have experienced some sort of this is like overwhelming sensation, panic attack, whatever it might be.
Like a crisis.
I
Almost like
think
a
something-
midlife crisis in a sense, if you want to call
Yeah,
it
to
that.
a degree. I just reckon, no, not even that. No, it was never been a matter of finding myself or anything like that. I haven't had that. I'm just talking the sheer pressure of shit that's happened over the years. It would have probably broken me more so. I might have given up in certain aspects. But, you know, having gone through that PD process, I think it's massive. It's massive. And as I said, you build character just from owning the business or running a business. You know, the two I see at Apple, like huge pressure. The two I see at Amazon and all these big companies, they're not the owners, but they're they're under probably just even more pressure. So it's definitely something that you're bang on with for sure.
Yeah. And I think you said you were proud of the person you become just from the work. You'd be even more proud of the person you become from the work you didn't have to do but chose to. You know what I mean? It wasn't forced upon you, but you purposefully went out and it's like, cool, I got made by this stuff that was forced on me, but I got made even more by the stuff I chose to do. You know what I mean? Easier said than done as well. There's a real stigma, like a sense of wankiness.
No, there is. I remember the first time you brought me to a Sansoni event, and I think you were still you were still affiliated with it from a sense of whatever. But I remember after it, I went and met my mates at a pub, and they're like, "Oh, there he is."
Yeah. How much shit were they giving you?
Mr. Fucking Inspiration over here. Are you brainwashed yet? Like, did you get, and I think that there is a stigma around some of these guys and some of these sort of speakers and influencers that they're just there to brainwash you. And I think there are certain people, I don't know, I think I may be too stubborn with
probably some of them are.
Yeah.
As well.
I think there's
like you need to be careful.
There's a stigma
which routes.
around this guy's just trying to brainwash you so he can earn a lot of dollars. And a lot of people like Tony Robbins that you mentioned. And
dude, if anyone thinks Tony Robbins still does this at 67 years old and he's almost a billionaire and he's going and doing free
He's
events,
a billionaire.
if you think he's doing it to get $1 from you, you're autistic.
Right.
Like you must, not you. I'm talking to
Someone else.
You looked at me like
What's
you were
he-
autistic.
What
for a
is
second.
what's he
He's like, I
doing?
know.
What's he doing? I don't know. What
It's
he's
on like free events and stuff,
Why?
like helping people.
Oh, is he doing
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, it's good. Like
he's-
if you think at
Just
this
'cause
point,
he's kind, or is he?
Man, he's fed. Like I was listening to the podcast the other
Yeah.
day. He's fed like hundreds of millions of people. Like given his
Good on him.
meals. Yeah. Like these are all things someone of his caliber doesn't have to do.
Yeah.
You know, but he's fed 100.
I don't know whether they're good, or I don't know whether
but I guarantee you, there is people
Grant
who do
Cardone's
that.
good or
Yeah.
bad.
Grant Cardone's a horrible human. Nah, he's not.
GC 10x. Get him on the podcast.
I don't know how to differentiate between the ones that are there for themselves and the ones that are there.
You
for
don't,
other
you know,
people.
but
it doesn't matter.
You
That's
fucking
fine
go
with
in
it,
and
right?
one
But I
stands here and one
genuinely
teaches you.
don't- Okay, you say Tony Robbins has fed millions of people. I genuinely don't believe people can be that kind-hearted that they want everyone to be a millionaire.
That's because you
you
got that
aren't.
cynic view of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I probably do. I think everyone,
I'm telling you,
there's
mate.
always a sense of people in it for themselves.
Put it this way: we've gone through and invested hundreds of thousands of dollars, and some stuff will tell you that I wouldn't do it. Like
There's stuff
that,
you
that
learn,
wasn't
but,
great.
man, this-
But you learn every step of the way. Even connections with people. Like had I not done half the Sansoni stuff, I wouldn't have done half of the other stuff, or met half the other
You
people.
wouldn't have met Robbie.
Also,
Yeah, absolutely. Fucking bang on.
Yeah.
Like we would not be sitting here doing this podcast right now if it wasn't for what we did. So arguably, whatever I invested in the training, whatever I did, I got stuff out of it. And I say, yep, cool, absolutely. We wouldn't be sitting here. And this is a venture that could be hundreds of millions of dollars. Make no mistake. Like
Will be.
did I say could?
yeah, I can't believe
I'm
it.
going to throw up.
Um,
But hey, Stephen Bartlett, Joe Rogan, all these guys started off with 0 subscribers, with 0 followers, with no one even knowing who the fuck they were. Stephen Bartlett did that post a while ago that said he surpassed, 3 billion downloads, 3 billion downloads of his podcast. And he put the post up and he goes, but that's not what this is about. This post is actually about, no one talks about the 3 whole years of doing a podcast where we got 12,000 downloads over 3 years. Because no one talks about that. They only talk about the last 5 years when we've exploded and now everyone knows who we are and what we do and all that sort of stuff. But no one saw 3 straight years of our podcast day in, day out.
I've actually
and
thought
that's
of
where
doing
this
this
is at.
podcast with my mates, but we always joke about it. I go, man, the things we talk about over a coffee, we should have a podcast.
Yep.
But we'd get cancelled
No,
real quick.
you know what? I'll
We'd
tell
have
you
a
what.
lot of people hating us and we get cancelled real
Yeah,
quick.
well, you look at, Fresh and Fit. Like they'll say ridiculous things and like hugely famous, hugely popular, whatever it might be. It's a silly, here's what separates, honestly, what it comes down to, this is what separates people that win and people that lose. All right? It's a simple thing. It's action. It's people will talk about it. People will judge. People will fucking point fingers and do everything that's under the sun except the one thing they should do. That's what separates winners from losers, man. It's people that take fucking action in their life. That's it. That is the one determined, like make the decision. I'm going to start a podcast. All right, go buy a podcast kit. He called me up. Guys, do you want to do a podcast? Fucking oath. Right, went that
Can I just
weekend.
borrow this one?
2 weeks, no. Yeah, we'll rent it.
You
We'll
can
rent it.
hire it,
You can
yeah.
hire it. Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I'll just come in one night when no one's in bed.
got an alarm.
Don't know how to use it.
But that's the thing, right? You've just got to take the action. And that's even the whole backing yourself, because you're going to go and invest money in this. It's a waste of money if you go there, invest the money just to feel good. All right, I'll give you, go get a massage, you feel good. But if you go there, you're now accountable to yourself.
Yeah, I
No,
guess.
I'm
what's
paying, I'm going to get
what-
this
what's-
out of
yeah.
this.
I guess going back to what I was saying of, oh yeah, me and my mates have thought about it. It's like, okay, well, why? So we can have a laugh.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely. It could be your personal brand. But that's the start of a personal brand. We've got over 120 hours of videos. Like you saying, we could post 6 times a day for the next year.
6 times a day.
Yeah. But different videos as well, like everything different, and still have content for fucking years. That's the advantage of what you're doing, and I guarantee it. You know, okay, you mentioned before is Sea-Doo sponsoring me. I put up, most of the content I put out is construction related, business related. I put out over the holidays 2 or 3 videos that got millions of views and hundreds of thousands of views. What's to say Sea-Doo don't call me up and say, hey, we want to, like, we'll give you a ski, start making more content. As stupid as that sounds. Not only that, use our discount code. We'll pay you $10,000 a month to actually take your ski out and create content because you're going to influence more people to buy a Sea-Doo on my personal page than what we are when we go and spend $5 million on Facebook ads. Now, you could look at that and go, all right, well, I'm a builder. Why not have the best of both worlds? You could be in construction, but then you can also be like, hey, we're going to talk about, you love the soccer, all right, the Premier League. You could go and do a podcast on that and just talk about, Man U or talk about whatever.
There's this guy that I listen to pretty much every day of my life. It's this YouTube channel called The United Stand, right? And basically it's this guy who has an alias. His alias is Mark Goldbridge, but his actual name is what's his actual name? I don't even know his actual name.
Harrison.
I do know his actual name. I've just forgotten it. Anyway, say his name is
Harrison.
Peter Smith, whatever.
No, it's
Harrison Smith. All right.
Thank you.
No one knows him as Harrison Smith. Everyone knows him as Mark Goldbridge. People in the media, I'm talking Sky Sports, will address him as Mark Goldbridge. They won't address him as his actual name because no one knows him as his actual name. Yeah. Everyone knows him as Mark. Also, he started off a channel where he used to do one a week video on a Sunday where he would kind of react to the week, and he had 10 people watching. That was in 2015, I think it was, he started. And he just celebrated his 10 years they have a channel, they post he goes live every day, twice a day, and then they have a video in the middle of the day. And then he does watch-alongs for games, he does transfer deadline day streams, he does all this stuff. And now he's got 2.3 million subscribers, which is insane. And I remember during COVID, I was thinking, it's like, there's no Australian that's doing any of this. There's no Australian that I wake up and probably watch every single Man United game there is to watch. Why can't I be the Australian Mark Goldbridge?
You're bang on.
But then I was like, nah, I can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, man, it's amazing the opportunities it can open up for you professionally, personally, whatever it might be.
He just started off as a fan who
That's right.
just made videos because he wanted to make videos. And he started doing it at 35.
Yep.
33 or something. 33. And
that's what I mean. You just don't know. And even just go from a professional route. What if you create that video that, who knows, man, the Prime Minister sees and he's like, hey, you know what? I want you to upgrade Parliament House. I want you to build Kirribilli Home or whatever it might be.
Look at, KSI.
Yeah. That YouTuber.
You got to ask these questions.
I don't. I'm KSI.
KSI. So KSI.
I'm good friends with him.
Obviously, for those who don't know KSI, then get out from under the rock you're living in. But
it's not that fucking well known. Jesus.
Okay.
Relax, man. I haven't. Okay, in all honesty.
You know who Logan Paul is?
Yeah.
Okay. They're on the same level as saying. Logan Paul's probably still is higher, but
I would say 100%.
They both own Prime.
Yeah, okay. Right? But I didn't know who this bloke was until
KSI,
the last 12 months.
I used to follow KSI when I was literally a 15-year-old playing FIFA with my mate. And we would watch his videos and he would literally just have a webcam on him and he'd be playing FIFA.
Yeah.
And everyone would be reacting to his anger when conceding a goal, his celebration when scoring, and then he'd play scary games with his brother where he'd sit there and it was all emotion and people got really invested in that. And then, but I never thought, I look at someone like that and I think you would never think that 10, 15 years later, this bloke is a billionaire and he's got a whole energy drink
line.
Yeah.
Action. Action man. He filmed himself.
He filmed himself,
people
but we had no intention.
Were talking shit about him.
16 to...
It's fine, but he's still gone out there. Yeah, but I've played video games when I was 16. I never recorded myself.
Yeah, maybe you should have.
Yeah, who knows? Could have been.
And I went through a few FIFA PlayStation controllers. Trust me. I'd ask my mates.
You're a fan of FIFA too, weren't you?
Me?
Yeah.
But I feel like I just missed out on the e-games.
What do you mean?
What's it called?
EA Sports. Esports,
no.
yeah.
EA Sports.
No. The
online
yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Esports?
I think it is esports.
Esports?
Something like that.
Oh, were you that good?
Yeah, I recken I would have done all right. I've only ever met one person.
Missed the boat.
Ask your mate, Chris Fitz. Schooled him once. Ask,
Maybe
I've only met one person in my whole life. Schooled him in his bedroom, by the way.
Yeah, he's told
during a work day.
He's told me. See, work from home.
Work from home. You fucking see what I'm talking about?
He lived across the road from the office. Anyway, I used to play FIFA day and night. It's all I used to do. And I feel like if it came out while I was still playing, I stopped playing when I got a job and blah, blah, blah. Like you get busy, right? But I feel like if all that took off while I was still playing, I feel like it would have turned into something for me. Like I'd met one person in real life that had beat me. Everyone else, I would school. I'd go see my mates. I wasn't allowed to play.
Do you reckon you could pick up a remote now and just have a fair nudge?
I reckon I'd be all right. I'd be all right.
Well, let's get a PlayStation in the office. Let's
Dude,
go.
I'm fucking.
We should. Oh, there you go. First action of GM. I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna
Company
foosball
PS5.
table. We'll make it fun.
Company
Not too far.
PS5.
There's no fun.
So much fun. There's no fun. There's just
Yeah, I feel like
slave labor.
I missed that window.
Nah, I don't think you've missed it.
Jump on now.
Nah, you can't. Now you got to commit time. These kids play for hours and hours on end.
Yeah, that's it.
And
They
it's like
committed.
I would have to quit my everything else. I'm
Stop
doing.
reading.
I read for like 10 minutes.
All right. Well, future's bright. I'm feeling good about the decision. I'm feeling good about the direction. And I reckon we're going to create some pretty magical shit at Pascon. And people will be talking about it for the years to come. And they can always reference back to this particular episode because obviously everyone's going to be subscribed. And if you're not subscribed, you can do that now, especially with
I'm
all
not
the
even
new
subscribed.
the new supporter base we're going to get after this episode drops on Monday. All of Simon's family, friends, and fans, raging fans, because he's day one of his personal brand. So where can people find you if they want to look out for you and try and connect with you now, Simon? Because you're huge on your personal brand.
Yeah, I have to build my personal brand and they'll be able to.
Well, I suppose LinkedIn's probably the best one at the moment.
Yeah, I check it once a year.
When you update your
When I
position
update my
description.
position and maybe we finish a project and I post a thanks everyone. Yeah, I don't do much, but at the moment you can't really. You can find me on normal personal pages. I don't really have anything.
But tell them where to find you.
Hope
At
Simon Siva.
At Simon Siva.
Yeah,
That's
TZIVA.
TZIVA.
One word.
There-
Anyway, hopefully it's not 120. Is it 120 episodes? You said.
It is 120. 120.
Well, hopefully it's not another 120 before we have part 2 of me. We'll see.
Get us to
Maybe
40 mil.
maybe we'll watch this one back and see how much.
Get us to 40 mil, then we'll have another. Then we'll invite you back.
Sounds good.
Now, in saying that, also, that's where you can find Simon. We also spoke about personal development and we said there's good ones and bad ones. There's a really good one coming up.
Oh,
I don't know if
really?
You've heard about it.
No. Could you elaborate?
Yeah, so I don't know if you've heard, Simon, but you might be targeted with these ads. There's actually this thing coming up called the Builders Summit.
Mm.
You want to tell them where they can get tickets, George?
I don't know. You're telling the story.
Click any link anywhere.
Anywhere.
There's free tickets.
It's going to follow you.
We've got the most registrations we've had to date.
That's just going to give you an indication of how big this event's going to be. There's a good chance. I'm going to put it out there.
There's a good chance we're going to stop and be like, hey, that's it. Like
We can't
our
let any more
capacity.
in. Yeah, that's it. I'm so glad you said it because that's
It's gonna happen.
very real. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get to the point where it's like, hey, we can't do it anymore.
Yeah. And when they say, oh, that's not fair, I've bought a ticket or I've registered, I said, hang on. What's the number one thing we said that separates winners from losers? It's action.
Action.
It's action. So if you got there on time and you were first in line, waiting at 6 a.m. for the doors to open, well, you would have had a seat.
Yeah.
And will they get to meet the man across us right now if they come on the day?
Depends on the
Look,
DJ.
it's part-time DJ as well as
I've
GM
been called up
as
to
well.
DJ.
But we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go if you're moving
He
and
might,
shaking.
he might just be there on the day as well.
That's it. Give
But
him a
yeah,
fist pump. Say you saw him on episode 120 on YouTube and listen to it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
there's limited availability. There's free tickets available as well. So if you're worried about your money,
Yep.
you got no risk.
And if you're not worried about your money, you can actually buy a gold or a VIP ticket as well. Did you know that?
I've heard.
I'll tell you what, if you are listening to this and you go, you know what, I want more of an experience, I want to have a really immersive day, use the code DELUXE50 and you'll get 50% off all purchase tickets. 50% off. And there's something else that's happening on the day that we've never done before. Never, not once.
What is it?
We're giving away a huge door prize.
Did you know about this?
A what door price?
You know, a huge. door prize.
Oh,
We're giving away a $2,000 Makita tool set valued, I just said it, $2,000 to one lucky winner on the day.
Are we just giving him Angelo's tools?
Just going to, all those tools downstairs, they're just going to go straight into the lottery. Now, if you also buy a ticket, you get bonus entries as well. So that's another incentive for you. Plus all the goodies you get from Legacy Media to help you out with your social media and branding and marketing and all that sort of stuff. But the only way you can find out is if you click the link somewhere, anywhere. Go find it
Yeah,
my
in the
bio,
description.
In the description.
Send us a message.
On the website.
It is everywhere.
It's everywhere, guys. Like, you have to try to avoid it.
And there's a good chance if you just say build a summit out loud, you'll start seeing ads.
Good.
Don't ask me how. Don't ask me how.
It's magic. All right. Thank you very much, Simon, for jumping on board.
No worries, thanks for
because
having me.
we've just been speaking for an hour. I expect you to do an extra hour and a half overtime today. And we will see you next week.
That's perfect. Get back to work.
That's it.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Bye.